say speed is freedom, but the faster you go, the less free you actually are. Every driver, every engineer, every dreamer who's ever touched a machine like this knows that truth. Because behind every perfectly tuned engine, every aerodynamic curve lies an obsession, not just to move fast, but to master chaos itself. Look at it. White paint, clean lines, flawless symmetry. It's not just a car, it's a confession. A confession that we want to believe perfection exists, that if we design precisely enough, calculate carefully enough, we can finally make something pure. But perfection, like speed, always demands something in return. Every tenth of a second faster costs another ounce of control. Every ounce of control costs another piece of humanity. The pursuit of speed has always been a mirror of our psychology. We don't chase it because we need to, we chase it because it's measurable. You can't measure meaning or peace or love, but you can measure a lap time. You can see improvement. You can prove progress. And so we build endlessly. Machines of precision that whisper promises of immortality. Because in a world of limits, the fastest man or the fastest car feels like a rebellion against time itself. Yet even rebellion has rules. The driver in the cockpit might look powerful, but he's trapped inside geometry. Every line of that track was drawn for him. Every reaction, every motion, predicted by physics before he ever turned the wheel. It's not freedom, it's choreography. Perfection pretending to be chaos. So ask yourself, what's more human, the pursuit of flawlessness or the acceptance of imperfection? Because the moment perfection arrives, humanity leaves. Art like this doesn't just represent engineering, it represents the dream of control, the fantasy that we can outhink our own limits. But maybe what makes us human is that we never truly can. Think of every great invention, from flight to computing to this very machine. Each began with imagination, not precision. Chaos birthed them. Curiosity sustained them. Perfection only arrived at the end, after the wonder was already gone. Speed seduces us because it feels infinite. In those brief seconds of motion, the world shrinks to sound and blur and time bends. It's the closest we get to feeling divine, to feeling like gods of velocity, but even gods crash. And when they do, perfection reminds us who's really in control. Because speed stripped of context is just acceleration toward entropy control. Stripped of humility becomes obsession. And somewhere between the two lies our struggle to go faster without forgetting why we're moving at all. The car doesn't know glory. It doesn't know legacy. The human behind it does. Only we can turn a collection of bolts and algorithms into something sacred. Only we can give meaning to motion. So maybe perfection was never about numbers. Maybe it was about awe. The art of realizing that we can build beauty from noise. That we can find symmetry in chaos. That even though perfection will always elude us, The pursuit makes us something greater. That's why speed matters. Not because it proves we can win, but because it proves we can try. Every turn of the wheel, every spark from the tire is a question whispered to the universe. How far can I go before I lose myself? And maybe that's the point. We build machines not to escape humanity, but to rediscover it. Every race, every test, every roar of an engine is just a new way of asking the oldest question. What does it mean to be alive when perfection is possible? Because the truth is, the faster we move, the more fragile we become. And that fragility, that razor-thin balance between mastery and loss is the most beautiful thing we've ever created. And maybe that's why we keep coming back. Because deep down we don't chase perfection to find control, we chase it to feel again. Every slip, every heartbeat before a corner, every moment when rubber kisses the edge of failure. That's where life hides, right on the border between precision and disaster. It's in those milliseconds that we meet ourselves, not the curated version, not the logical one, but the primal pulse that built every dream worth having. Speed reveals the truth that stillness hides, that meaning isn't found in safety, but in the courage to risk it. That progress isn't about erasing fear, but learning to dance with it. Because when the car settles back into silence and the echoes of the engine fade, what's left isn't a record or a trophy. It's the heartbeat of a human who looked at the impossible and refused to slow down. Perfection will fade, machines will fail, but the will to reach for them, the refusal to stop trying, that's the one thing we've ever built that might outlast us.